There are 5 laws of money that you need to understand if your goal is to build wealth. I've been fortunate to study a lot of wealthy people over the last 2 decades. And one thing they all have in common is that they have all mastered these 5 laws. So if your goal is to not only create wealth, but also protect that wealth, you need to understand these 5 laws and start applying them on a consistent basis. The first law that you need to understand is that you must save at least 10% of your income. Without savings, without having financial resources, it's difficult to build wealth. And you have to also understand that money attracts money. Money attracts opportunities. The more money you have, the more you're able to attract more money to help your wealth continue to blossom. And one of the things that people often tell me is that, Depot, I can't afford to save 10% of my income. And my response has always been, you can't afford to pay taxes, but yet you do it anyways. And you are forced to live on whatever is left. So if you're going to build wealth, you need to stop making excuses about not being able to save a portion of your income. Whatever you need to get rid of from a liability standpoint to put you in a position to start saving, you want to do that as soon as possible because that is the only way you can put yourself in a position to build wealth. The second law you must understand is you have to invest what you saved so it can grow. You have to invest what you save so that money can continue to grow due to the law of compound interest, right? The more you save, the more you're able to invest and the more money you're able to accumulate. All right? That's why this is very critical. Money is not meant to be stagnant. So if you're just saving money and your money is not growing, it's actually losing value every single day, right? Due to inflation. If your money's sitting in a checking account, if it's sitting in a traditional savings account, you might as well give up on your hope of becoming wealthy because your money is not growing. So you need to find vehicles that allows your money to grow on a consistent basis. All right? That's the second law. The third law is invest with the guidance of an expert. What does that mean? That means that there is someone who has already been where you're trying to go. So we can call them a mentor, a financial advisor, an expert in a particular field. It doesn't really matter. The goal is that before you invest into something, seek the guidance of someone who has the experience and the knowledge to help you succeed. The quickest way to succeed is to follow somebody who has already been where you're trying to go and just pretty much follow suit. And the quickest way to fail is to ignore the knowledge and the experience of an expert and try to do it by yourself. And I see so many people who lose a lot of money because they don't want to pay for advice, they don't want to pay for mentorship, and they want to do it all by themselves. And unfortunately, there are more people who've lost money trying to write it alone than people who are actually getting the advice of an expert. This is very critical. The third thing that you must understand, or the fourth thing you must understand, is you have to avoid investing in things you don't understand. Listen, there's so many opportunities for you to build wealth now, like never before. But the reality is, not all those opportunities are suitable for your situation. So if you don't understand real estate, don't invest in real estate. If you don't understand the stock market or Forex, don't invest in them. If you don't understand crypto, don't invest in crypto. You only invest in things that you understand. All right. And that is why it's so critical for you to work with someone who has the knowledge, who has the experience, so that way they can give you the proper information so you can have understanding. And when you have understanding, you cannot invest with wisdom. All right. You need an expert to help you to acquire the right knowledge so you can invest with understanding and put your money in a position where it continues to grow. Very important. And the last law you must understand is avoid get rich quick schemes. Avoid get rich quick schemes. There's so many platforms, there's so many people promoting different investments and things of that nature, and people are falling for them. They're falling for them because they lack understanding. They're falling for them because they lack experts, right? So they're taking their livelihood, all their savings that they've worked so hard for years, and they're giving it away in Ponzi schemes. Their promises you to get, their promises to give you 2% return on your capital every single day. Some may say you'll get 4%, every week, and some may say, hey, every 30 days you get 10 to 15% return on your investment by putting your money into whatever scheme it is. That is the quickest way for you to lose money. All right. Anything that promises you fast money, you run away from it. There's a Bible verse that I love so much. It says, wealth from get rich quick schemes quickly disappears, but wealth from hard work grows over time. All right. When you put your savings into get rich quick schemes, it disappears. But when you put your savings, right, into solid investments, it grows over time. It's not rocket science. So if you're going to build wealth and you're really serious about building wealth, there is no way you can escape from any of these laws. You have to apply each one accordingly to put yourself in a position where you're growing wealth and at the same time, you're able to protect your money as it grows over time.